Hey guys, so turning back in, that last video had to kind of cut it before I intended to. That's okay, right? We want a free flow in this. I feel like this is going to be a little bit longer video. Um, we'll see what happens here. So, nonetheless, I kind of broke down why it's good for the church to speak of political things, why it's prejudiced they're unable to. So, in that sense, I want to move forward. If you want to hear why I said that, go back and watch the first video. That's part one. Without further ado, let's continue. So Justin Martyr said this: reason directs those who are truly pious and philosophical to honor and love what is true, declining to follow low traditional opinions. Okay, let me stop right there. Listen to how profound what Justin Martyr is saying. He's saying, listen, I'm going to read it one more time. Reason directs those who are truly pious and philosophical. In other words, not just claiming to be, not just, doing it because it's the cool thing to do, right? But no, I actually love truth, right? I am truly pious. I am truly philosophical in the sense I'm a lover of truth. That's what a lot of the philosophers consider themselves to be, were lovers of truth. So Justin is ushering a challenge here. He's saying, look, if you really are who you say you are, let's put this to the test through reason. So one thing to understand about the early Christians, right? They came from a Socratic mode of reasoning, right? Aristotelian thought, Platonic thought flooded their Greek minds, right? Because that was their schools of philosophy were the dominating schools of that time, right? You can read Plato's Republic, right? And you will hear a great deal of Socrates and the things he taught and their thinking patterns. And Socrates spoke greatly of the philosopher having the fullness of revelation of what is the true and what is the good. And if someone were to live according to what is the true and what is the good, that you would have the most amazing society. So these early Christians, right? You have to understand they can't just completely dump this way of thinking, because the way of thinking wasn't necessarily bad, right? There was actually good things about it. And one of the best things about it is that they were very intelligent, very articulate people who could formulate a thought and an argument. And Socrates was a master of that through asking, right, the Socratic reasoning, the question, okay, well, if so-and-so is true, then would this be true also? Well, yes, it would be, Socrates. Okay, well, if that's the case, and he continues on and on, this line of reasoning that makes you, it makes you say, wow, what you're saying is correct, because he poses it as a question, right? You notice even Jesus does this. Jesus Christ himself, people come to him, he would respond with a question. Like the rich young ruler, he said, Lord, what must I do to be perfect? Or good teacher, what must I do to be perfect? He said, why do you call me good? No one is good but God alone. What is Jesus saying? I believe what Jesus is saying is, and I got some Ravi, is, are you calling me God? For no one but God is good. So what are you saying here, right? So point being, I've heard a lot of, I'm going to say, Protestant teachers, and unfortunately, who think reason's bad or whatever, or they just kind of throw it out. Hyper spiritual guys, or just, King James thumping guys that they think any sort of human intellect is evil, which is not true at all. The human intellect is a gift from God. Now, when the human intellect comes to a point to where it trumps the voice of God, that's where we have an issue. Now, that is a whole nother video for a different day, not right now, okay? So, nonetheless, let me continue on. But I wanted to make that clear that Justin is speaking to a certain group with a certain thinking pattern that he is accustomed to. So he knows how to speak their language. And he says, because you're philosophers, right, you clearly honor and love what is true, declining to follow low traditional opinions. So here is to me, this is where the line in the sand is drawn. Okay? What do I mean by that? Not necessarily that Justin Martyr is drawing a line right here, but just what he said is profound. I'm going to read it again. To honor and love what is true, to declining to follow low traditional opinions. So in other words, what he's saying is, do you love your own opinion more than you love what is actually truth itself? I hear so many people say, I think, I feel, well, I believe the early church was like this. Well, I believe Donald Trump's a racist, or, well, I think liberals are going to hell, or whatever it is, right? But they can't back up what they're saying with the facts and truth. That's one of the reasons I really like Ben Shapiro. Unfortunately, Ben, if you ever watch this, you messed up on this upcoming re-election with the polling stuff. That's a different story. I'm not mad at you, buddy. But nonetheless, are you willing to hold so tightly to simply your experience, your worldview, that when you're confronted with contrary facts and reasons, you'd rather ignore them for your own sake and comfort, right? Go back to the rich young ruler. Jesus said to him, if you really do want to be perfect, go and sell all that you have and follow me. The rich young ruler is speaking the truth himself. The rich young ruler gets nervous and he says, oh man, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can just give everything that I have. I mean, shoot, I like my stuff, man. I like my comfort. And he walks away depressed. You see, the rich young ruler preferred his own things to what God had for him and who God is. Most importantly, who God is, right? Because think about this. In the old Hebrew mindset, when you do good things, you would receive blessing. You'd receive money. Sort of a prosperity gospel in a sense. So the rich young ruler, and I heard Bishop Barron say this in his World on Fire book, is actually saying, Jesus, give me something. I've kept all your commands. Where's my blessing? And he wanted money, not just a blessing in the sense of like a spiritual blessing. He wanted money. So the rich young ruler says, can't do it. I'm walking away empty-handed. So Jesus took the old and he brought it to a higher level. And he said, actually, true riches is knowing me. Are you willing to lay aside everything just to know me? Who is good? Who is goodness himself, Jesus Christ, right? So nonetheless, Jesus confronted these traditional low opinions with truth. And Justin Martyr, being a good disciple, does the same by confronting the Roman Senate. So let us continue on in this man of God's writings. I love this stuff. Another thing to notice, one thing I'm going to say real quick. This was written before the Bible was fully composed as it is today. So this would be one of the primary, oh no, my battery. Darn it. Shoot. Well, I'm going to have to cut the video short here because my battery's almost out. I was feeling the Lord, man. I'm going to pick up real quick. I'm going to do part 2 continue. All right, this next video.